Our next
Thank you, ma'am.
is Dr. Subhash Prasad, who's the Director and Chief Consultant of the Divya Drishti Eye Center, Patna. And he has another challenging similar video to show, and I think we can take our discussions further on after his case. On to you, Dr. Subhash.
Thank you, madam. My video is again on, am I visible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
You need to show
We can't see your screen though.
screen.
Screen is not seen.
No.
Just press the share.
You are, I think, first you have opened your presentation.
Yeah, I
and
opened.
You see the share screen green button below.
Sunil ji, help me.
Sir, on the Zoom window.
Mr. Sunil,
Yes,
you'll have to.
Yeah, is it visible now?
Yes, it has come.
Yeah. So we all know that capsulorhexis is the critical step of doing phacoemulsification surgery, and all of us are so expert in doing in every cases. But sometimes it's very difficult, like in anterior capsular fibrosis, which was just discussed by Dr. Arsul. In these cases, we are not able to achieve a round circular capsulorhexis, particularly in Morganian cataract, some traumatic cataract, and sometimes pediatric cataract. And there are various options, but in my opinion, vitrectomy cutter is one which gives almost 100% success and which comes with no extra cost. When there is just central anterior capsular fibrosis, you can do it very well with your routine methods of using the cystitome and then using the forceps, and you can very well do the capsulorhexis in this case. Like here in this case, is very central located. But in situation where there is a large, big subcapsular fibrosis, anterior capsular fibrosis like here, which has got a big pseudopodia-like extension everywhere, it's very difficult to achieve. And when I tried to peel the anterior capsule, it was coming in a piecemeal. So I used multiple times forceps and then cystitome to move from this side to that side, but ultimately was not coming out completely. So I used the Vannas seizure to cut the extensions of the subcapsular fibrosis. But I again feel that using the vitreous cutter like Arsul talk has shown would have been a much better option. And this is video which I just want to highlight here, that what the mistake I did here should not be done by anyone, because here I'm going from one side and it's likely to extend to the periphery. But from the other side, I'm using the Vannas just to complete it. And even though it's not say circular round capsular exercise, I did the good phaco in this patient, and ultimately I achieved a good result. The another case which I just wanted to show is a hypermature Morganian kind of cataract. Again, you can see a big, large subcapsular fibrosis. Here again, I am using the Vannas seizure and the cystitome. And once I achieve a round, nearly round circular opening in the anterior capsule, I thought that probably I can go below the anterior subcapsular fibrosis and do the phaco, but I was mistaken, and the part of the anterior subcapsular fibrosis was coming on the way. So I tried to cut it with the Vannas seizure, but it did not work. So I thought of using the cutter here, and with the same machine cutter, I used 23 gauge vitreous cutter I used here to make an opening in the subcapsular fibrosis all around, and which was able to give a nearly circular central opening in the anterior capsule, and then it was possible to manage this case with equal ease like in other cases. One thing is very important, that whenever you tackle such cases, always stain the capsule, because it truly delineates the fibrosis and other part. Another use is in the congenital cataract. Here, see the nucleus, whole cataract is moving actually when I'm trying to do the capsulorhexis. So in this case, I thought to use the vitreous cutter. But to use that, you have to have one opening, central opening, or any opening in the anterior capsule. So I'm using the MBR blade, because it's not possible to puncture the anterior capsule with the 26 gauge needle. Then I started using the cutter, changing the hand from left to right side with the side port incision only. I was able to do it. And the advantage of the cutter is that you can cut the anterior capsule. You can aspirate the cortex. You can do the posterior capsulotomy. At the same time, you can do the limited anterior vitrectomy. So it serves all the purpose in a congenital cataract. And with the cutter, you can see that I was able to achieve a round opening in the anterior capsule, which was sufficient enough to handle the cataract in this patient, since it was just 4 months old baby. So I did not put intraocular lens here, using the IA mode to aspirate the cortex and in between changing. So this was all in from my side. Thank you very much. And I feel that when you have difficulty in these cases, cutter comes very handy because all the machines have their attachment there nowadays.
Thank you very much, Dr. Subhash. Wonderful videos. Lot of learning came through it. Actually, as Dr. Ramuti was trying to explain earlier on, there were two of your cases which had a lot of subcapsular plaque. So experience tells that you need to tease out these subcapsular plaques, and then you're able to fashion out your excess better, as against a fibrotic capsules where you have shown how you have used a vitrectomy cutter. When you talk of vitrectomy cutter, I would like to know what would be your settings.
Like in other cases, I use it 2000 cut per minute, and then the aspiration of around vacuum of around 200 millimeter. Here in this case, it was set to 4,000 actually. We have the option of changing in the Centurion from 2000 to 4,000. So
Any thing?
I just wanted to say that vitrectorexis has been classically described earlier for a posterior capsulorhexis, and has also shown that the margin that you get by doing using a vitrectomy probe vis-a-vis the one that you do manually, there is a difference. Although clinically, I'm sure, Subhash, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but submicroscopically there is a difference that it is, weaker than the margin of a normal capsulorhexis which you do it by hand. Just like by femto, it doesn't make a difference, although microscopically there'll be a difference. But I also thought as much that subcapsular fibrosis is the one which has to be dealt later, and then there is a fibrotic thing which is there over the capsule which has to be peeled out or dissected out first. So when you're using the cutter immediately, you probably will not, do it layer by layer. But if you're using other instruments, then you would probably do it layer by layer.
Just for the sake of completion, we all keep talking about the role of femtosecond lasers in intumescent cataracts, swollen cataracts. But even in these fibrotic capsules, it's of a great help. Most often, you don't end up getting a free-floating rhexis. Usually, in these situations, I increase my offset for the anterior capsule from 300 to 500 microns, both anteriorly and posteriorly, and also increase the spotline separation. Decrease the spotline separation so that more energy goes in. And usually what you get is a template. And in these cases, stabilizing the eyeball with Sinskey hook through one side port, I go in with a bent 26 gauge needle. And that template, which has been created with a femtosecond laser, allows you to create a rhexis. And of course, in extreme fibrosis, sometimes the femtosecond laser doesn't work at all. But in many of these fibrotic anterior capsules, it's a great help to do the rhexis with a femtosecond laser. The second point I wanted to make was the settings for the vitrectomy settings that you mentioned about. The high cut rate of 4,000 is something that we use for anterior vitrectomy because those are vitreous strands and you don't really need too much energy. But these recalcitrant fibrotic bands require a lot of energy to be cut, a lot of force to be cut. In these cases, I would decrease my cut rate to 500 to 600 and also increase my aspiration rate so that, these things get dragged into the port of the vitreous and then go ahead and cut it quite adequately. If you use an extremely high cut rate and if it's a very fibrotic band, these bands may not get cut. That's the reason that in soft vitreous, you use an extremely high cut rate and you don't want to drag any vitreous into the port.
okay.
Both for the iris and for the capsule, fibrotic capsule, your cut rates have to go down.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you would do for anterior vitrectomy, because otherwise it doesn't come into the port. It's too fast to come into the port. So your cutting rate should go down.
Use the cut IA mode. I think the anterior cut IA mode, cut and then.
So then you would say you can conclude saying that you keep it at around as something like 500, 600 as a cut rate, and you would use your
and use IA cut mode rather than cut IA mode.
Yeah, because it has to be dragged into the port and cut.